So the rumours are true. I'm starting to miss my X-S20. So I'm currently in Bali at the moment. I've been travelling for 2 months, and just before this trip I sold my X-S20. So that means I've been without this camera for roughly 2 months. And before that I was absolutely loving the hell out of that camera. I took it everywhere I went, on every trip I went, and I couldn't speak highly enough of it. But before this trip I made the difficult decision to sell it, and I made that decision because of one major thing. However, if you don't know already, you'll have to wait to the end of the video to understand why. But I want to talk about the 5 things that I really miss while not having it on this trip. So the first thing is the form factor, the size of the camera, the ergonomics. That was the one thing that jumped out at me at the beginning. It was when I opened the box to the X-S20 was how small, compact, and basically, as it's been nicknamed, a baby XH2S. I was almost shocked, to be honest, but quickly came around to the fact that this actually could be to my benefit. What was great is it fit in every bag I had and was becoming just a daily camera. It was overshadowing my X Pro 3, my XH2S, my Ricoh GR3 X2. Being a Fuji fanboy, loving Fuji for the last 2 or 3 years, the X-S20 just gave me everything that I needed in a small package. So while out here, I have really missed it. I've been jumping from the X Pro 3 to the XH2S, which are the 2 cameras I brought with me, and however much I've enjoyed both, the XH2S is my workhorse. It's just such a reliable camera. I just trust it with most of my big work, and I also know it inside out by now. I've just had it so long. The X Pro 3 is a photo first camera. I love it. I've got no issues with it at all. It's just that it doesn't produce any video. The second thing I really miss is when you are recording video on this camera, the screen will fully light up red. This is so invaluable to someone like me who thinks that they're shooting something and then only to find out when they get home they've just shot the end bit of their feet. I'm actually someone who needs to wear glasses, so my vision isn't always that great when looking at smaller things, and as I get older it's definitely getting worse. So having a nice LCD screen that lights up to show me that it's recording is really good. I don't think I haven't done a firmware update for a while, but the XH2 does do this, and I don't know if it ever will. I'd love it if it did, and definitely the X Pro 3 doesn't, and I don't shoot with that anyway, so that's not really a concern. So obviously you can produce Fuji recipes in most of the Fujifilm cameras. However, with the X-S20, and I think with maybe the new X106, correct me if I'm wrong, but I found that I could also use the Fuji recipe for video in the X-S20. That was so good. So when I was in Italy, I created an Italian recipe. You can go and watch that video here. And I was able to not only take JPEGs with the Fuji recipe that I created, I could take the video too, which made the whole YouTube video seamless. It was a wonderful, beautiful thing because I love the Fujifilm recipes and I love to produce them, I love to make them. A very creative thing that you can do very easily, and I really miss having the functionality of being able to do one then the other. Because when I punched in the Fuji recipe, I was able to take photos, but also I was able to hit that record button and take the video as well. It was seamless and I love it, and I really miss that, especially as I'm somewhere like Bali at the moment, which I'd love to make a Fuji recipe and be able to shoot both. Okay, another feature I miss is being able to shoot in open gate. Now, it's not just because of the 6.2K resolution, which is fab. It's just the fact that you can use the whole sensor, which allows you to crop better for social media. So it just gives me a bit more height, a bit more range in my video, so I can use the footage not only for things like YouTube, but for my Instagram. And because yeah, that's a great feature to have in in a camera. Not many cameras can shoot in open gate 6.2K. For the price range, I mean, it's fab. Like I said, I really miss it. There are some features in that camera that were very good. And the last thing I really want to touch on is I just miss that it was a proper hybrid camera. Like I said about the Fuji recipes, I was able to produce both so seamlessly. Yes, I can do that with my X-H2S. I can also do that seamlessly too, because I've had it for so long. But it is bigger, and it's not always fun to take around with you, and it's also more expensive. So if I'm traveling like as I am now, I am thinking, be careful, because it's my workhorse. It is kind of like my life. It's the thing that I put all my trust in. So I don't want to be, I don't want to be getting that stolen or lost or broken or anything like that. So I am very careful about how and when I use that. And that was what was great about the X-S20. Not that I didn't care if I, lost or broke it. It's that it made me believe I was more of a hobbyist again. I was shooting for the fun. Like I said, a workhorse, like it's in the title, it's a workhorse. It helps you produce work. The X-S20 brought back a bit of fun and joy to video and photography. When this is your job, it's not always fun. Believe you me, it can be a slog, and the pressure of wanting to get shots and stuff on a daily occurrences can be a bit much after a while, especially if you're traveling. So this is just an honest review of someone who had the X-S20 and has sold it and is not regretting it because of the main issue I sold it. Now, if you have skipped to this part of the video just to find out why I sold it, then here we go. The main issue for me is that I was traveling to Southeast Asia, a warmer climate, somewhere that is not comparable to where I live, which is England, and where I travel to parts of Europe frequently. This is a much warmer climate, and yeah, this thing overheats. It gets hot real quick. You can really feel it in your hands. It's a little bit like the Ricoh GR3X. You can run around with that thing for about 10 minutes before it really starts getting hot. You just gotta, make sure you don't push it to its limits too much, or you've got to jump into a shop, cool it down for a bit. You've just got to think about it very consciously while you're out on the streets, and I just didn't want that. And I know that the X-H2S can perform in better temperatures. And so for this trip, and to also release a bit of money so that could help with this trip, I decided to sell it. And it probably was the biggest con of all. The other one that kind of helped sway the decision to sell it was that it wasn't fully weather sealed. Now, a lot of people have said this, but it's only recently that most cameras are weather sealed. So I should be lucky that I get any sealing at all on my cameras. But when you're paying a lot of money and you're traveling around, you just want your gear to be safe. You want it to make sure it doesn't get any dust on it, doesn't get wet. It's just, gonna perform throughout your trip with no bother. And that's what the X-H2S does for me. So does my X Pro 3. So those are the two cameras I brought on this trip. But like I said, I'm missing my X-S20. And there's a good chance that when I get back to England, I'll probably be looking at maybe picking it up again. And for those of you that are considering it, I've always said, even when I was selling this, that this is a fantastic camera. Perfect for work and joy. That is the biggest thing. A camera should bring you joy, especially when you're out shooting on the streets or even with work, something that is seamless, something that can not hinder you from doing what you need to do, but also bring a bit of light and fun to your work. Anyway, like I said, I had the X-S20 for about 6 months, so I have a good amount of knowledge on that camera. So drop me any questions you have in the comments below. Be happy to try and answer any of your questions. Like I said, I'm here in Bali at the moment. I'm working on the next scene as we speak. Very excited about that. That's actually going to be a double header. So that's going to be about 2 locations, 2 places. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming out soon. But all my other zines are on sale for £1 still. So go grab that. A lot of you have, and I'm really grateful. And I'm, dead chuffed that they're selling. So go check them out at my website below. Thank you as always for watching. I appreciate the support. We're nearly at 5,000 subs, and you know, I've got a big goal this year of getting to a nice, good number. So if you can help me, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.